The featured game I have for you today is between Mikhail, Misha, Mikhail the Terrible, and Filip. Um, and this is the Inter-Zonal tournament for the World Chess Championships back in 1958. So let's get into this. This is a Spanish, so it's an old, I think it's a Shigoran line or something similar to that, I think. Okay, so let's get into this. Now, Tal's play is not exact, so there are some issues with his play, but that all makes up for his magicalness and his luck. Now a wee bit of a surprise here. Tal now plays a move that I would think that bishop c2 is the move for white, but Tal plays h3. So these knights go here, 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 and here, and can also go here and here, which is basically what I played in the Dunedin tournament. So here goes that whistle again. Now we have dc5, knight f1. So here I believe is bishop d6, yes, and here knight e3, knight h4 first. Knight e7, this is all been played before. Queen f3, this reminds me of my rapid game in Spring Rapid of the Otago Chess Club. Round 2. Maybe even I got it in round 3, but not Queen f3. Rook d8, knight e3. So black's trying to prevent white from getting in these squares. So Queen b7, this has all been played before. g4, this is Tal coming. c4, and of course we're not going to take this with the e pawn because of the red arrow. We could take it with the queen, or we can take it with the pawn, and Tal takes with the pawn. King h8. Now comes what is very hard to see why they think this is not a very good move for Tal, because Tal sort of loses a tempi, is king h2. So soon you will see king h1, because king h2 is actually a mistake, even though it doesn't look like it. h6. This is not recommended for black. I think they recommend knight here and f6, something like that, I think, without me putting my reading glasses on and looking at the book. So here comes h6. So this becomes a target for white's assault on the king side of blacks. So here's rook g1. queen e7, bishop d2, and rook a d1. Now, of course, white's threatening just elementary stuff. Queen g7, checkmate. So this would not do. Knight h5 is not very good, because white would merely play queen g4, and then the knight has to find a safe place, and ends up having to defend the g7 pawn with the knight attacked with queen g4 attack. So that's not a very good move. So black plays here queen f8. And now this is where I think white now plays king h1, because otherwise this, if the queen takes this pawn soon, then bishop d6 drops back after bishop h6. So white now plays, Mikhail plays king h1. So this gets off this diagonal. So of course white's now threatening that pawn possibly, but maybe not. Black now doubles up and obviously is now threatening this bishop on d2, you see. So white has to do something about that. So what does white do? Yes, you guessed it. White moves the bishop not here, not here, not here, not here, but here. And here black is threatened with bishop g7 check, which is very hard to meet after if rook d1 first. So if white is met with rook d1 now, then this is quite bad for black, because of this sort of thing. Obviously if king here, then we can maybe play bishop f6 check, and we'll just show you. And if I mark this up, then I have to do this again. Now we have this queen check, which threatens queen h8 check. So if queen here, okay, it looks like there's a few fireworks happening here. And guess what, Dave? White cannot play rook g7 as I thought, because it's pinned, isn't it? And then king moves back to h8, and queen h6 checkmate, or rook g6 check, but can't do that. So we have to find a little bit better for white. Maybe just bishop takes rook, where white would be a piece up. So that would be no good. So hopefully I have got this game saved still. Yes it is, thankfully. Now we have the queen takes pawn on e5 check trick, and that's quite devastating really, isn't it? Because white's threatening, obviously if white wasn't really, now bishop d6 would be a problem if the king was still on h8, h2. So here white's just threatening queen f6, gaining the material back, and with advantage white. So what black plays is queen e7, and bishop e7, and book recommends queen e7. So white is met with bishop e7, and now white now plays a move. What would you play here now? White now plays a move that's sort of a little bit quiet, but just threatens to bolster up the centre for white. So white plays a rook d4. So if rook d4, which happens, then we have this, and now the bishop on c2 is going to come to life soon, hopefully. So black has possibilities to defend, but it's getting very, very hard right now. The bishop can't move away because it just queen takes knight check. And and these pawns threaten to march on. Here's king h7, which helps white, I think, because now we have a discovered check in the making with these two pawns out the way. So white just sidesteps to f4 now. No, sorry, rook d1. Sorry, my mistake. Rook d1 and knight e8. And here, what move would you play now for white? This is the great Tal playing here. So Tal plays a pretty reasonably nice move. It might be quite easy to find it. So I'll just give you a little bit of time to just think about what you'd play for black here. For white here, I mean. So what would you play for white? So white plays f6. And so obviously this gives the queen a square on f5 to check the king, and then join the e4 pawn to e5, and then white's got this diagonal here threat of queen h7 checkmate. So f6. And now it doesn't really matter which piece takes on f6. Both are similarly bad for black in the book's opinion. White gets met with knight f6, but as mentioned, bishop f6 is just as bad. So we find these moves sort of simply as queen f5 check, and then the king moves back to h8, and then comes e5. Now this is quite embarrassing because now we have great difficulty here for black. The only move I believe is queen g7, and then of course we're going to take this knight on f6, and the bishop can only take, not the queen, because if the queen takes, then we have queen h7 checkmate, which is defended by the bishop, of course. So bishop f6, and then we have this embarrassing move, rook g1, and I think black just resigned here, I think, or did they play bishop g5 and then f4, and this is where Filip resigned. Okay, that's the end of that session and this session. Thank you for watching. I hope your chess gets better no matter what your level is. Thank you very much.